Wolves, Tottenham, Liverpool, 4. Was it Celtic?
Yeah.
5. Leeds, Inter Milan, and you're giving it to me now. LA.
LA Galaxy. Yeah,
good work.
LA Galaxy.
Good work.
The only two you didn't name were ATK in the Indian League.
ATK.
And Aston Villa. In 61.
This is 61.
Episode 61, the FIFA Ramble podcast.
Yeah, this is it. We are happily sponsored this week by Gary and
Gary's Midnight Coffee Disco. Now we want to apologise to our guests here.
It's Gary's Midnight Coffee Disco.
We know you sell coffee. It's a bit embarrassing, but we've booked.
We've got to take the money.
Yeah, we've got to take the money sometimes. And Gary's Midnight Coffee Disco gave us the money and you didn't. So
can't blame you.
Let's hear from Gary.
That's not it.
That's not.
Sorry.
Oh, Gary.
Gary's Midnight Coffee Disco, where you will never feel tired again. Hi, I'm John, disco dance champion 1997. You know I love dancing, but I hate feeling tired in clubs. I'm happy to announce that Gary will be opening Gary's Midnight Disco Coffee, a club that serves only coffee, so I'll never feel tired again. There's a place I go where everybody likes to dance, but when the clock strikes 1, everybody's just too tired to dance. I'm on the floor, I want some more. Lucky I drunk some coffee, cause now I can give more. Crush the beats, drink it down, dance the night away. Find a girl, feel a mood, the coffee makes you lucky. You're a dance machine with caffeine. You hope the girls are watching. Feel wired, never tired, you won't be sleeping tonight. Gary's Midnight Coffee Disco, the only thing we sell is coffee. Never feel tired at a disco again.
This is number 61. We're joined this week by
Handlebarbarista.
We are Handlebarbarista. We ride around Cardiff on trikes, 3-wheeled bicycles with big boxes on the front with a coffee machine on, and we hope to sell coffee to anyone really that would buy it on the streets of Cardiff. We've got 2 out at the moment. They start outside Central Station, 1 at the front, 1 at the back, from 7:30 till 9, and then we go to offices and deliver coffees to anyone.
Basically sell coffee on the move.
Tell me what Ichiban does again.
Ichiban removes every last hair on your body.
That's what we're going to do.
I literally, my words were, we can't play this game.
Well, you could style it out. I thought that's what we were doing. Where was I when that happened?
Coffee disco.
That's good. It's actually not a bad idea. I think.
We could get in touch with the club and just say, look, we could come in at midnight and just see.
It's like Welsh Club.
Interviewed in years' time. Where did the idea come from?
Have a little macchiato.
We do,
Smash with that.
we do kind of events and stuff. And sometimes we'll do like cocktails and things. And going like coffee cocktails and stuff. And you get some people come in, have a few of them. And they're wired after that. I tell you, definitely sorts them out. Looks like
They do those raves now as well, don't they, in the morning? They start like 5 a.m.
I've done one.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've done a kids rave when it was just all the adults were drinking coffee and the kids
a
were
low back.
running around.
Amazing.
That was quite fun.
So, Luke, do you know what else happened on the weekend?
Oh, enlighten me.
Is it Man City? Do you watch Man City, Man United?
I did. It was a great Sunday that day because it also, you had the Super Classico. Boca versus River in Argentina in a Copa Libertadores final. You also had PSG Monaco. You had Milan versus Juventus.
And then
it
at the
all
heart of
started
it,
with Man City
this
beating my
game.
beloved Man United.
not only beat, but
Yeah, the third goal was stunning. The amount of passing around, and it's just, when will David Silva and Sergio Aguero stop mugging my team off? Like, when's it going to happen? I'm sick to death of it.
Did you guys see any of it?
Saw bits of it. It was actually that's my birthday on Sunday, so we were out. I was out in watched it in a pub and had a few beers by then, so I kind of watched half of it. But
I scored a goal on Monday night in my 5-a-side kickabout, and someone said that was like Aguero's goal.
Was it really?
Someone said,
You're like, meant to mate. Yeah. Seen it. Done it.
bit better, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, it was. At one point, before they scored their third, at one point I thought, do you know what? We're not actually being hammered here. I thought, do you know what? We're not getting a
You
shoe
were
in.
into the goal. And then
It was, at one point, they just completely took over. I think it was about 60 minutes in. Up until then, we were losing, but I was like, I've seen teams get hammered by this lot.
Do you know
We're
what?
doing all right
But
with ourselves. I think.
I think Man City could have actually done that. I think one of the big things of why Pep had a little go at Sterling at the game was sort of show disrespect, because I think they could have absolutely crushed you.
Yeah, they could have.
I also think that it's the way that United played. They played to almost not get a hammer in. So they played to kind of, to play safe.
A constant.
I've got a little. I'm different to a normal football fan in that a bad result doesn't ruin my day at all. It used to. It doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily buy into club rivalry. You know, like I'm a United fan, but I love Liverpool. I genuinely love them as a football club because it's a proper football institution. How can you not respect that?
Yeah.
So when these results happen, I go, well, that's quite bad. And then just move on with my day. But this one was a bit harder. It was just like, I think it was because they ruined the day. I was like, oh my God, I get to watch PSG Monaco, River Boca, and Milan Juve, but I watched United Manchester Derby first, and then that happened.
But also, I think like last week
like
we discussed the nature of Man City having really nippy, technical, astute players up front, and that is just the absolute opposite to United. So I think it was properly Matic.
I'm a huge fan of Herrera, massive fan of him. And what I like about him is that other football club fans hate him. That's why I love him. That's a United player for me, Herrera. He should be our captain. But you can't start him in the midfield with Matic and Fellaini against Manchester City.
I think what makes it hard as well for United fans is seeing the football that City are playing while turning them over as well. You know, you're going to lose, and you know, even the best sides, United over the years under Sir Alex would lose games against the top teams, but the way that City are beating them, I think it's harder to take because they've seen that football.
It's so far ahead. It's not what
it's just
I miss the days of United. But again, I've said even if I never watch them win another trophy again, as a Man United fan, I've still been spoiled.
Yeah,
true.
My dad was born in Stratford, just outside Manchester, so like Trafford area.
So you can legitimately claim to be in.
He's actually he's a proper. Yeah. He was born within spitting distance of Old Trafford.
Yeah,
and
so descriptive.
I know. And
a Lukey's distance.
Yeah, it was correct. Put me off with my units of measurements. But this, so I'm sort of. I don't mind I don't mind if we lose. However, do you know what happened since in the last 3 years? First time this has happened, Mourinho annoyed me.
No, what do you do?
He really irritated me. I've
stood by him for the second thing.
We have stood by him. We've gone on record. We stood right by him. Yeah. But for him to come out after the game and say, stats, people who know stats don't know football and things like that. You know, you could tell me a stat about everything. It's like, well, the stat is this is the first time. Facts. Yeah, it's like this is the first time since the 70s United have got a negative goal difference at this start of the season. We haven't been this low at the start of the season and scored so few goals.
Since the
late 80s, they're not stats, Jose. Do you know what I mean? That's
the other thing he said though that was really like, I was like, what is he on about here? He said it was a far easier build-up for City because they won 6-1 and they won 6-0 and therefore they were able to rat. But you earn the right to do that by playing really well and brush your teeth aside.
We had 2 away games, they had 2 friendlies.
Yeah.
And one of them was a Champions League.
Granted, United had 2 games.
Hard games are good warm-ups. Yeah. Easy game, warm-ups are rubbish.
Yeah, you could argue.
We beat Juventus, surely to God. It's like the moment should be with us.
I was watching in the pub, and they didn't have the sound on TV, and the pre-match interviews when they go to the managers, and they had Mourinho just been interviewed, so he obviously couldn't hear what he was saying. But just looking at his face as he was doing it, and you're thinking, he was so miserable. You could just see, it was just like, you could tell almost what he was saying. It wasn't bad.
The best PR man in the world. It's just because you can't rescue those situations sometimes. But look, the Premier League needs Mourinho. I'll just do a Partridge summary at the end.
That's fantastic.
Was that only 6 minutes?
Yes.
Amazing. Perfectly on cue, almost.
What are we, 61?
I love that.
Yeah.
You're just like,
and the time again is...
Let's not get back down the time.
It's like 47.
Keith, do you want to grab this? Are you?
No.
Keep going. Leave it.
I can't get you.
You're struggling with that phone, aren't you?
I have. I've renamed it. It's fine.
Don't
That's
run
it,
his
yeah?
battery out
Yeah,
trying to
that's it.
do something.
Well, look, it's fine. All right, what do we do next?
Next, we are doing Southampton-Watford.
Okay.
Ready?
Go in that one.
We're going now.
What are you doing?
Checking some stuff.
I want to mention the t-shirt at some point.
I saw your G t-shirt. I've got a really bad Tour de France tattoo.
Oh, nice. I see the colours. This is our own.
Yeah, so it's like yellow, polka dot and green. And it's,
Do you want to
I
work for
clocked it
Handlebar?
straight away. No, I'm just saying, how many people, I'm trying to point that I like professional cycling to the point where I have a Tour de France tattoo.
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I'm just trying to start a conversation, Alex. That's what it is.
I'm only winding you up. Carry on. As you wish.
Right, what are we talking about? Southampton-Watford.
Go on. Into it?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, talk about your outcry.
It's not an outcry. I just think Southampton should have won. They were sold a dream. And the dream was to win one. I think
They're so close.
These are the exact moments where VAR should step up. And I'm actually for Charlie Austin and his outburst. I think it's justified.
Yeah.
I like. Do you know what I enjoyed about that the most? Realism, like an actual emotional thing instead of we're just going to tell you I'm really disappointed or we're really happy we won. We need something else.
Cliches.
And it's just taking it as can you win next week? We're just taking it as a game.
You used to.
Obviously we can do.
A well-groomed young man who's been media trained, not a bloodshot-eyed Charlie Austin.
Yeah, that's
what I want to see. I want to see more of that.
There's probably kids watching that game.
Long time
What's
ago,
this,
I said football would be a lot more interesting if these lads, like just normal lads from school, probably didn't listen to school and just played football, were just themselves on the camera. It'd be much more interesting.
Yeah.
When you get Wayne Rooney going, just I think it's very good. Be yourself, man.
That's how you get engagement.
Yeah.
I think that's why you're drawn to those type of plays, even though you don't. I suppose you can't really do that in an interview when you can be a bit like naughty with others.
You are drawn to it though, and that's why you're drawn to these players. It's why we're,
like we all enjoyed that because it showed passion. And the other thing it really highlighted was the real need for VAR.
It needs to happen.
That was a legitimate goal.
We
Like
said
that was a thing that happened. We said it all the time.
We said it, was it the week before
We did.
or last week? We were talking about VAR then, and we were saying, so you're telling me that VAR technology is good enough to be used at the World Cup, it's good enough to be used in Serie A, La Liga and Liga, but it's not good enough to be used in Bournemouth.
Now you've got a riot on your hands because Charlie Austin's in.
Yeah,
He's
it's
got
like
bloodshot eyes. He
me-
looks like a terrier.
There's no more
World
trials
Cup
to do
final,
now. It's
fine.
like,
they said, they trialled it. Oh, we need more trials. It's being used in a World Cup final, and you're telling me that it's not good enough to watch the Bournemouth game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's just like we need VAR in the game. And it's
jobs and livelihoods are affected by things. I mean, that's a big goal potentially for Southampton, isn't it?
Yeah,
and for people like Charlie Austin who could get on a purple patch when they score.
I still think they'll get relegated this season.
And he hasn't scored for what, like 9 months?
Yeah, so you can see the frustration.
A long time.
And
a long while.
I loved his rant though. So
We're all for Charlie Austin.
We're all for it.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing though is that the VAR ruled that out. Watford had a clear-cut penalty.
Well, did you see
nailed on?
Watford tweeted.
It would have changed the game.
Nailed on. Ryan Bertrand took
Watford
out.
tweeted Charlie Austin and said that wasn't the only incident that that perhaps should have been looked at as well.
Yeah,
and,
it was a nailed-on penalty for Watford.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, fine, bring in VAR, Charlie, but it's still 2-2.
Go on, set it yourself,
Come
Charlie.
on, Charlie, come on. Be a minute where your mouth is.
I got to say, as a Luton fan, I'm definitely siding with Charlie on that and not with Watford on that.
Let's do Cardiff next.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we'll do your bit.
Yeah,
Yeah?
absolutely.
Then we'll do this.
Go on. Can I start this one?
Yeah? Okay, you can start this one.
Thank you. Talking about VAR, there's a VAR incident in the Cardiff City.
Leave Bamba alone. He's done
Brighton. There was a VAR incident.
I want Saul Bamba on as a guest.
I just want it put on record.
Speak ill.
Okay, I'll stop slagging off Bamba. He won't come on here anyway.
He's going to come on here.
He wouldn't have the guts to face up to him. The incident I'm talking about is the ridiculous referee by Martin Atkinson, who wasn't watching the game so much he couldn't tell if a man took his shirt off. That's how little attention this referee was paying to this game. He had to go up to him afterwards and go, "Do you take your shirt off? When you're watching, Martin, like, what are you doing?"
Right. If there's a cosmic game,
there's
you
22 of them on the pitch.
There's not a lot. You've stopped lying now. You tell the truth.
Yeah.
Amongst everything. And you looked at that little referee's eyes.
Yeah. Shambles.
What are you going to do about it?
Shambles.
But there was worse things in that game. That tackle.
Red, yeah.
Again, this is a
yes,
trend.
it was a ref.
It just so happens, I've seen so many home games of Cardiff City and someone gets off at that specific time. I don't know if it's a game plan of shithousery or that's a word. It's an actual thing.
Yeah, okay.
Gamesman's play. Which always happens at Cardiff City games. I don't know if there's a level of aggression. I don't know how
it's weird, isn't it? Because the two games we've been lucky enough to be given, like, invited down, and we saw the opening game against Newcastle, and then we saw the Burnley game. Burnley game, the first half was so bad, we spent the entire time counting how many different places Cardiff City Scrum was telling us to visit. So it was like Johor,
I had to look at
Vietnam, Malaysia. There was Cardiff City fans looking at us like, "What are you doing?" I'm taking notes on my phone.
6 or 7.
We got about 7 at one point, because there was that
quite fancy Johor
holiday resort as well that they were telling us to visit. It was a nightmare.
So anyway, there's always a tackle that goes on or something, it just riles them up. And it probably worked if that's the game plan, because they drew with, when it happened against Newcastle, and they
lost to Bournemouth. They lost to Burnley. They've come back. This was a massive game. It was massive. The good thing, we all picked Cardiff City to go down at the start on our preview show, all of us. But
I'm happy
I
for
genuinely,
look,
if we think Fulham are down and dilly ding, dilly dong, he's back. If we all think Fulham are going down and Huddersfield are awful, Southampton are dire, Cardiff City aren't any better, but they're the only one out of those 4 that actually look like they care at the minute. Cardiff City look like they don't want to be down there. Huddersfield look resigned to it.
About Neil Warnock.
Whoa, hang on. No. Before we start, there's not... No, you can't stitch me up again. Not again.
Just like, let's enjoy this moment.
I haven't been like, right, I'm going to put... Can I put my theory to the guests?
No matter how good they do.
Can I put my theory to...
Yeah, sure.
Okay, my theory is if you run a football club, the only way that you can get promoted and stay in the Premier League is you hire Neil Warnock about 18 months before you want to get promoted. That'll do. He gets 6 months to get in, and then he'll take 1 season, you'll go up. Yeah. Then, the next season when you're in the Premier League, regardless of where you are in November, whether it's last or top of the league, sack Neil Warnock, because he will not keep you in the Premier League, and hire Sam Allardyce. It won't be pretty. Yeah. It won't be pretty. There's a lot of people who go, "I don't want my club playing this style of football." But you'll be in the Premier League and you'll be earning money. I guarantee it. It's foolproof.
After that, then?
Well, when Allardyce then moves on, what you do then is you just bring in Warnock again.
When you're back down in the Championship.
Yeah. Allardyce left to save that other club the next season. Neil.
For the funds that you look at, like for what Fulham have spent and the funds that Cardiff have spent, I think he's maximising that.
And they bought under themselves as well.
Anyway, you've got a lovely Neil Warnock fact, haven't you, about he can rear his sheep wherever he wants.
Oh, Neil Warnock, yeah, I have got. This is a genuine fact. Neil Warnock's got the keys to Cardiff City. He's got the keys to the city
you
for getting them promoted.
This next time you're talking.
He got given it, and the rights that now gives him is one of them is to graze his sheep anywhere within the city limits. Anywhere. He can also park anywhere he wants. So
those probably got the keys then, because I see horses on the side of it all the time.
And you're probably going to have spare keys, aren't you?
Yeah. You've got the key to this place as well.
They were the two little things which we found out. We love the idea that eventually he's going to be on like a Balfour roundabout, just grazing his sheep.
You definitely would try it, wouldn't you? If you had that, you'd definitely find a way of doing it.
Even if you set the scene yourself and paid the actors to come with you, I think you'd...
Yeah. It would literally, they give me the key, I shake the hand, as soon as I walk out, right time, there's some sheep. Where can you get me some sheep? I got the key.
We've come off topic, just do a little roundup. Cardiff a Bamba goal, who's loose, who's jagged, whatever.
Bamba nearly scored an overhead kick as well in this game.
It led to the goal anyway.
Bamba nearly scored an overhead kick.
That's it, so Bamba...
Scored the last minute, took his shirt off. Brilliant. How long was that?
That was 5 minutes.
5 minutes. That means we spent more time talking about sheep than we did the Manchester Derby.
No problem. That's why it's called the FIFA Ramble.
We missed talking about Harry Redknapp.
No.
Good news corner.
We should have.
That's good news.
I'll do the end then. I'll do it. I forgot. Harry Redknapp. When we first started out. He'd just taken over at Birmingham. He literally, and we couldn't believe our luck. It was me and him, and we were just like, "Oh my God, Harry Redknapp's back in management." As we're starting a podcast, and we ran a feature every week, which was just Redknapp Corner, because he was constantly trying to buy.
Hi guys, it's Luke here from the FIFA Ramble podcast. I'm having a whisper and be quiet because I'm hiding in a wardrobe. I just told Harry Redknapp that Nico Kranjčar was overrated. He's fuming. He hasn't taken it well. Just wanted to drop by and say don't forget to go follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the FIFA Ramble. Go like our Facebook page, the FIFA Ramble. And go subscribe to us on YouTube, The FIFA Ramble. Go like, subscribe, share, tell your mum, your dad, your friends, your work colleagues, even the ones you don't like, your neighbours, neighbours. Go tell everybody. But whatever you do, do not tell Harry Redknapp that Nico Kranjčar was overrated. Oh my God, he's got a knife.
And we played a game of how many people have been linked to Harry Redknapp at Birmingham. And we reeled off about 15 people in 1 week. I was just like, this is mental. And when he brought in 14 players, and when he got sacked, he said, well, they just didn't let me buy the players I wanted. So he brought 14 players in. You were only there 4 months. Genuinely tried to sign like Stuart Downing, Ashley Cole, Robbie Keane. Robbie Keane from the Indian League. Joe Cole, he tried signing. All these old players. Like,
all his family.
He tried bringing Crouch in. It was like, oh my God, Harry Redknapp properly
was
back.
The one that he always used to bring over, wasn't he?
Cranky, he tried to sneak him into the jungle as his luxury item. Mitch's Corner. Just take one, though, isn't it?
Mitch's Corner, take one. Well,
go on.
Championship Corner, some really big results this week that proves the Championship is just absolutely bonkers. So you've got West Brom, 4-1 victory over Leeds.
Sorry, Mitch, can I just stop you there?
Go on.
I just want to say Mitch's Championship Corner is sponsored by Handlebarbaristas. So I just want to...
Yeah, just...
Cheers.
Can you say that?
Handlebarbarista, thank you.
Are we allowed to do that with Gary?
Yeah, I think so.
Will he still pay?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Well, we'll allow it now.
Carry on with your bonkers Championship.
So, yeah, West Brom, 4-1 win over Leeds. Only a couple of weeks ago, Derby were winning 4-1 at West Brom, and then only a few weeks before that, Leeds were winning 4-1 at Derby. So it just proves it's just absolutely mad league. The other standout result was Aston Villa 3-0 victory at Derby County. Massive win. Dean Smith looking for that sort of new manager bounce, really. Hasn't really got it. Has struggled in the first few weeks, and then massive win. So Villa fans will be looking to see if that kick-starts their season and move up the table. But the other big result, I think, was Norwich City's 4-3 win over Millwall. I think on paper it looks like, Norwich were favourites to win, but actually they were 3-2 down in that game in injury time. I think that just proves, I think, some of the other sides up there have been expected to be up there, but Norwich, a little bit of a surprise to be up there. And actually, I think that they're showing that they've got the stomach for the fight. So, yeah, massive result for them. And I think they get a huge shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out. Oh yeah, so that was the Championship Corner, sponsored by Handlebarbarista. Thank you. Okay, so Chris, Dan, you're respectively Luton and Liverpool fans. So obviously, when I was thinking, what?
The other way around.
Oh, so yeah, you're Liverpool, Chris, and you're Dan, you're Luton, right? So anyway,
that is important.
That is important. It is important. Get it right, especially if you're the Liverpool fan. You don't want to be getting that wrong. So I was thinking Luton and Liverpool. Obviously, there's only one sort of game we can play here because clearly the major link between you both is you both got major UK airports, haven't you? The John Lennon Airport and the London Luton Airport. So there's all this. I know this is blatantly obvious. You're clearly going to be expecting this, but this is a game of is it football stadium or airport? So I'm going to read out the name of either a football stadium or an airport. You've got to tell me.
Can we play?
No, you're not allowed to play. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
so we're going
this isn't fair because he travels nearly every single
Well, don't be making excuses. Come on, no excuses. So
I stay in Cardiff.
You got 7 names, and I'm going to alternate. So no, we're going to go 1 and then 1, and then so we'll start with you, Dan, and we're going to go with 7 names for you. You've got to tell me whether the name I give you is a football stadium or an airport.
Okay.
Starting with LaGuardia.
LaGuardia, we will go for stadium.
I'm afraid it's New York City's airport, named after Fiorello Henry LaGuardia. It's the 99th mayor of New York City. So I'm afraid not. Vicente Calderon.
Oh, I think that one would be a stadium.
It is.
Yeah.
It was home to Atletico Madrid, 54,000 seater stadium, controversially being chopped down, demolished.
Chopped down.
But now they've moved into a fish roll called Wanda.
Chopped, exactly. Controversial. So that's, you've got 1 so far, 1 out of 2. Fritz Walter.
Ooh.
Fritz Walter. We will go for airport.
I'm afraid it's home of Kaiserslautern, named after former German captain and Kaiserslautern attacking midfielder, obviously Frederick Fritz Walter, who played in the 50s, I believe. I might pronounce this one wrong, so Hoogeveen.
Hoogeveen. Stadium.
No. It's a small airport in the Netherlands. I'm afraid.
Midlands.
In the Netherlands.
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 Sound very Midland. Like.
No.
Yeah, it is. That does
I know. George Best. Is that George Best Stadium or George Best?
That's got to be an airport.
It is an airport. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Pizjuan.
We will go for stadium.
Yes, Sevilla, named after the club's former president. And then finally, your 7th and final one is Orio al Serio.
Orio al Serio. Stadium.
I'm afraid it's not. It's the 3rd busiest airport in Italy. Bergamo.
Is it? Where?
In Italy, the 3rd busiest in Italy, apparently.
Whereabouts?
Yeah, see, it's an educational.
What
Chris
part
does
of
love
Italy?
Italy.
Bergamo.
Oh.
Bergamo.
I think that's a stadium and all.
Definitely a stadium.
Yeah, definitely a stadium there.
You scored 3.
3.
Oh.
3 out of 7.
Not the best, is it?
So,
Right.
you know the drill now. It's the same thing. Always the same.
Yeah, always the same.
Chris,
Same question, is it?
I'm keeping score.
Berlin Schönefeld.
Oh.
Schönefeld.
Think of
That's
that.
an easy one.
Stadium?
It's not, I'm afraid. It's the secondary international airport of Berlin. CenturyLink.
Oh.
CenturyLink. Airport.
I'm afraid not. It's the Seattle Sounders. Home of the Seattle Sounders.
Looking quite good.
Obviously, come on. The Seattle Sounders. Oh, he's under pressure now, 0 for 2.
I think I am doing your scoreboard as well, by the way.
Okay. Next one. The Hague.
The Hague. I thought it was completely
Named after William Hague.
Yeah.
It's big across the
airport.
It is an airport. It's The Hague in Rotterdam. It's Rotterdam's
I'm
airport.
going to say airport every time. I think I'll do it right.
Yeah, okay. So
on the scoreboard.
he's off the mark.
You got it?
Alcazar.
Stadium.
It is. It's a multi-purpose stadium in Larissa in Greece.
He's got himself a brace.
He's back in the game.
He's got himself a brace.
Squeaky bum time here. Come on. There we go. All right.
What do I get? What's the winner get?
All right. So next one.
We'll draw.
Roland Garros. It's a football stadium or is it an airport?
Stadium.
It's not. It's an airport. It's a tennis
Tennis
court
thing,
arena.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's what I
not a
was
football
thinking.
stadium. It is
Trick question.
airport. Yeah. Trick question. Last one.
Needs
yeah,
the last
I've got
one.
three,
Needs the
so
last
two.
one to
Oh
draw.
no, he's got two. He's got two.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah,
Two.
still winning.
Two.
How many teams winning?
One left.
Rio Tinto.
Got to get it.
50-50.
Stadium.
It is. It's so it's going down to the last one potentially. No, there's one more.
He's got one left.
Yeah, he's got one left. It's home of
It's for
Real
the win.
Salt Lake. As you obviously
Knew that.
know.
Knew
Obviously.
that. Yeah, you will say it as soon as I said it. Last one, Ciudad de Valencia.
This is for the win.
I think it's in Spain.
Yeah.
Ciudad de Valencia.
I think it's going to be a stadium.
It is. It's home of Valencia. Come on! Ooh, sneaks it to the death.
He
Would
takes
you
it 4-3.
believe it? There you are.
Thank you very much.
So we got a jingle for that, Mitch.
We got a jingle.
Underrated players, underrated players, underrated players, underrated. Oh no, we haven't.
We haven't got a jingle. We spent all the budget on the episode, didn't we? On
that's right.
coffee twice. We haven't got time for
Tell me
another
some
jingle.
underrated players.
Right, yeah. This was born from our WhatsApp chat.
Got that jingle in my head.
Can I? Someone who's underrated. We'll sort of keep it a bit private. Sergio Aguero.
Go on. Explain how he's underrated.
Explain yourself.
Because he's only the third player to score that many goals for one club. I think he's underrated.
I wouldn't lose any
I
sleep
see
over
where
it.
you're coming from with that. I think, when you look at, he's obviously rated,
Right,
but he's
how
not
many
up there
people
with-
say, Sergio Aguero's a really good striker, and then they move on.
Yeah.
But he's acknowledged he's a really good striker, but compare
he played 90
Aguero to
consistently
Harry
enough?
Kane. Aguero and Kane, compare those two to the coverage they get, how much they get
Why do you
talked
think that
about
is?
going
They
to...
know them
Yeah,
well.
exactly. But as highlighting... They never talk about Aguero signing for Real Madrid, but Harry Kane can't score a hat-trick without being linked to every club in the world. Aguero's just scored 151 goals in Premier League. Aguero's just scored 151 goals in Premier League.
When I think of underrated players, it's more maybe that people that have got the same or maybe less ability in them are still getting talked in, getting far more praise, or getting talked out in world class, maybe getting shortlisted for Ballon d'Or or World Team of the Year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Clearly, I think you touch on a point about there are certain players when you look at...
back in, Pele winning it was more important for them. But now international football, as Wales are showing, is actually a good part-time gig if you want to become a football manager, international football. It gets you into it. So I would argue that international football hasn't got the relevance that it did have, or the prestige.
You've just spent far too long on this. I'm just going to throw one in on my keeper thing. Matt Ryan, goalkeeper deluxe. Just saying, underrated. First goalkeeper to be nominated as player of the month last month. I don't think that's happened since maybe Casper Schmeichel. Maybe I don't know. It's been a while, but they don't get the credit they deserve, especially a player like Matt Ryan, who is and it's Sarri. You're playing under Sarri. You're going to learn from the respect. So
I've got more names.
Go on then, throw some names to this. Let's have a quick
maybe
names.
a couple that are more in the category of underappreciated, perhaps. People
and
Aaron Ramsey.
Yes,
I think
massively.
Giroud gets a lot of flack for the stuff he delivers.
He's handsome.
But I'm going to
If
give
he wasn't handsome, they'd hate whether you scored it or not.
Yeah.
Giroud's has been one of the highest in world football for about 6 years.
I'm going to go with...
It's unbelievable.
I've got a couple more for...
we could talk about Giroud for all that.
We could.
Icardi. You're talking relevant. I think he's world-class striker, but he doesn't get talked in the same circles.
Yes. Insigne as well.
Insigne is another. Javier Pastore.
Dries Mertens. Javier Pastore was so underrated.
I think he's massively
The
underrated.
PSG didn't realise what they were losing.
Yeah, Roma got a
bargain, but
but they needed him out.
PSG needed him out to get. They've got Barzagli, who I adore. They've got Rugani, who's basically with Romagnoli. He's the future of the Azzurri back line. And then you've got Meni Benatia.
And you never hear them talked in going up for.
I guarantee you, there's about 85% of English football.
I've done mine now. They're off my chest. I feel like you can breathe and relax. Yeah. Everyone else can say yours now. Fine. What are you doing?
Why did you bring up Serie A? I'm just going to talk Serie A all day.
Because I'm trying to get you going. Project.
It's just the most.
The reason
why do you think Serie A is more interesting?
Serie A,
I've got a theory.
It's mental for a start. Now there's loads of great players in there. They all sell to each other. When Juventus, Inter, and AC have had so many players who from the same club, you've got Gonzalo Higuain has gone from Napoli to Juventus, and then to AC Milan.
Yeah.
What player in the Premier League would go Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United? How often does it happen?
Yeah, I can see that, but actual games aren't
entertaining, are they? I love them. I love what they're so tactically good, and there's so many great players.
So it's for the football purist if you look at the tactics and everything.
Juventus are superb to watch. I watch Juventus over Man United genuinely because they play better football.
That's number 61. Guys,
in the bag. Thank you very much for coming
on.
Thank you for having us, guys. Thank you.
Mega. Where can we find you online?
7:30.
Go around Cardiff.
Yeah, what's this? Like Instagram handles and all that malarkey.
Online, new website, launching. Well, it's launched now, but we're going to be properly selling nice t-shirts and coffee from December the 1st. Handlebarbarista.co.uk.
Nice.
Twitter @BikeBarCardiff.
Or just 7:30 outside the station.
Or 7:30 outside the station.
7:30 outside Cardiff Station.
Front to back of Cardiff Central Station.
Look for a trike.
Awesome.
Oh, Gary.
Awesome.
Clap, please.
Clap it. Do the clap. Crocodile clap.
Ichiban.